to your resting place.
This is Apostles Praise TV, bring you intimacy with the Holy Spirit.
So you said that the knowledge gap between the rich and the poor is not just wide, it's a secret.
Yeah, it is.
And somehow it plays better in the market for you to have the assumption that you know.
Exactly.
And they like it like that.
Of course, they don't just like it, that's their business.
Their business is the ignorance of the poor.
Exactly.
Additional. The author, speaker, and architect of Africa's investment renaissance.
An average fund management does not want you to take your money out of them. It simply means one thing. They are telling you that they know you so well. Money is not productive in your hand.
The mentality of an average investor is that I'm putting my funds here and then it will multiply. Multiplying.
That exactly is what is the illusion. Because investment goal is not to make money. Investment is the closest thing to charity. I invest because I want to finance an idea I believe in, not first to make money.
The whole idea around buy one plot and then you can sell back. You don't feel it's a wise investment idea.
You are buying one plot because you are broke.
True.
Whose private investment company, Additional Assets, is quietly building an empire across finance, real estate, agriculture, and healthcare.
Now, even let's say you sell the one plot in the next 10 years, right, for profits. If you do not still cure your brokenness, in 10 years you sell it and seize it to eat, you'll still be broke.
This is quite strong.
On a mission to prove that Africa's greatest wealth lies within Africa itself.
There are many things that people even sell as investment goals or financial goals.
Yeah.
That only means that they're saying that you would never be rich.
What?
Yeah. Because if someone is saying that buy land here, or buy this land, just buy this, so that you can be selling one plot to send your children to school, or buy one plot, give one. It means that they are saying that in the next 5 years,
where nothing would have changed.
Exactly. If the land is going to appreciate in value so much, when I find it, I don't want to sell. Why are the developers selling? Is it that they don't want the huge profit that's going to come in the future?
They want to make you rich.
Really?
So what you're saying in essence is that nobody is out there to make anybody rich.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
If I understand what you're saying now, what you're saying is, when it comes to finance, don't be the defender, be the striker.
Exactly. A buy side cannot take advice from a sell side. Brokers can advise me on investment decision. Already, because you have a commission at stake, I can't trust your decision because you have a product to sell. The average broker is not an investor. So how do you know what to invest in? The average broker is broke. So how do you want to help me make wealth?
They are telling you to spread payment first.
They know that the fact that you don't have much capital, they know that, okay, if only what you can do every month is 100,000, you're actually mentally bankrupt. So I can easily manipulate you. You don't really know what to do with that 100K to become 1 million. Your money is more useful in my own hand. It's the world we find ourselves in.
This is not fair.
I believe many people regret who they get married to. When they got married, when they were not yet a version of themselves. But many marriages is one strong person and a liability.
What's the hope of the common man?
To be honest, I think
Hey guys, if you're watching this now, that means you have ears for intelligent conversations, and this is exactly where you want to be. We have conversations that will get you at the edge of your seat, and this particular one is one you don't want to miss. I have a very honest request from you as we start this conversation. I'd like for you to like this broadcast. That helps us to get this to as many people as possible. You know, we can work together, getting intelligent conversations to people all over the world. And I'd like you to drop your comment. Let us know how you feel. Let's know how this has impacted you. And one thing you want to do also is to subscribe to this YouTube channel, as this will notify you whenever we're bringing up videos, podcasts, or any other kind of video that can be a blessing to your heart. I look forward to having you again and again on this show. Thank you so much. The knowledge gap between the wealthy and the poor.
Yeah.
How wide is it?
It's very wide, but not just wide, it's also covered. And that is the exact trap that the wealthy likes it like that. Because don't forget, this is a market.
Yeah.
If you don't lose, I don't make. Yeah, I'm trying to collect money from you. That's it. okay, none of us can make money, produce. We cannot. So ideally what we do is that we collect money. If I offer you a service, I collect money from you. I collect money so I collect money. I don't make money. Only the government can make money. So if we're also in the stock market, what we are doing is that we're collecting money. So Graham would say that the market is a redistribution place from the inpatient to the patient. So the idea of the knowledge gap
is a redistribution place.
Yeah, from the inpatient to the patient. Yeah. So if I'm in the market and I know that, okay, I know what I'm doing. You think you know what I'm doing. So it's like chess. I like that you think you know what I'm doing. Because that exactly puts you exactly where I want you.
It's a trap.
Yeah. So, and that's why you see that, the average person follows headline. Oh, this person just acquired this company. Oh, this person just does this. This person just did this. And then that's the excitement. You think it's a pointer for you to get in. But the question I'm not asking is that, what did this person see? What's the rationale behind this decision? You don't know. You don't even know. For example, there was a time when Otedola and Elumelu was fighting over Transcorp.
Yeah.
Right. Those who know the play, know the play. If you check I'm not saying that's what happens, but let's just check it. The same conflict or rift happened also in First Bank.
Yeah, it did.
With the same Ote. Right? It means that something is up the play. Right? But if you don't know, you will just think that, okay, if two billionaires are trying to get into something, it means you should also get into something.
But some wealthy guys write books.
Yeah.
On how to become wealthy. You feel still it's not the secret, the main secret are not there.
So you can infer if you know how to read between the letters, but thinking that what they wrote. Okay, let me give an example from Making It Big by Otedola. Right? He was trying to describe a situation where he needed the director of NNPC.
Yeah.
Right, for a particular deal that they wanted to do. And then they met on a flight. Now, look at the play. The person, I needed your help. I've been looking for you. Then we got on a flight. I was in first class, you're in economy. Now, if you check that play, it means that there's already a disconnect somewhere. So it means I'm not on the same level with someone that is just chasing the average person or chasing a DG. I have a measure of resources to get certain things done.
Yeah.
Right? And with that kind of person, there's certain information you have.
Yes.
Certain access to relationships that you have.
Yes.
For example, so if a company that has billions of dollars wants to acquire another company, they hire PwC Deloitte to do research. For example, when Otedola wanted to acquire, he didn't know whether to get a Genco or a distribution company when he wants to get into Geregu. Right? Yes. He didn't go and start the analysis by himself. He hired, I think, one of the big four to do the research for him. Right? Now, you, in the comfort of your home, think that from a phone pad, you can do the same analysis that PwC or Deloitte will do.
Which is not possible.
It's not.
So you said that the knowledge gap between the rich and the poor is not just wide. It's a secret.
Yeah, it is.
And somehow it plays better in the market for you to have the assumption that you know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And they like it like that.
Of course, they don't just like it, that's their business.
Their business is the ignorance of the poor.
Exactly. An average fund management does not want you to take your money out of them. It simply means one thing. They are telling you that they know you so well. Money is not productive in your hand.
You want to say that again?
Yeah. So an average fund management don't want you to take out money when you keep it with them. Right. And then they just keep, for example, let me give you a practical example. There's a particular, not really a fund manager, but disguises as such, and people contribute money with this institution every month. Yeah. First thing first, if you miss a month, you don't get profit at the end of the year. You only get your capital back. Now, that's not even my problem. My problem is that on your profit at the end of the year, this institution gets 45% of your profit.
What?
Yes, it's on their website. I can show you.
Wow.
What does that tell you? People don't really know. They just like to feel good. Okay, this is it. People just like to be an investor. They don't really know whether it's going to make them wealthy or not. Once they are just an investor, a landlord, they are comfortable, they are good. Because that makes them feel like the wealthy. Oh, this person is an investor, I'm also an investor, they are good.
So we have cases where, because you said many people who are broke follow headlines.
Yeah, that's it. They are reactive. They chase what they think someone else is doing.
I mean, if Dangote is having an investment somewhere, it's natural to want to buy something there.
Do you know his playbook? For example, he's listing the refinery very soon. Currently already worth about 20 billion naira. $20 billion, pardon me. $20 billion, pardon me. That's already pre-listing valuation. And guess what? He's listing just 10%. Yeah, on the stock market. Many people already think that that's their another get rich quick scheme. But this is not a penny. This won't be a penny stock. Right? It's not the entire stock market as you have it today is worth about $80 billion. The entire Nigerian stock market is worth about $80 billion.
$80 billion.
Yes. Now, that means that when he lists, it's going to be about 1/5 of the entire stock market.
If he values the company
at 20 billion.
And 20 billion, and is going to list 10% of the company, that's $2 billion.
$2 billion they are going to get. Now,
what fraction of the entire stock market is that? That we're going to be looking at about 3-point-something percent.
Yeah. So the question for the average investor now is that, is this company, what is the room for growth here? Already before listing, they're already the largest oil refinery in the world. So what else is going to make the room for growth? Right. And if you follow history, there's only one player here.
The mentality of an average investor is that I'm putting my funds here and then it will multiplying.
That exactly is what is the illusion. Because investment goal is not to make money. Investment is the closest thing to charity. I invest because I want to finance an idea I believe in, not first to make money.
So you believe that those who are investing because
to make money, you're already wrong.
So you're saying that investment is not a quick money scheme?
Yes.
I've seen cases where banks come out and say you can buy our shares now and all those stuff.
What happened in 2008? Banking crisis.
Yeah.
It's the euphoria.
You said something in one of your statements that Dangote is building somewhere, you are buying land there. you want to come, that statement is waiting.
Yeah, so that's why I said we think we know what we are doing because we like to copy the headlines. Dangote went to Ibejuleki. Dangote refinery is the size of Victoria Island, about 7 times the size of Victoria Island.
Just the refinery?
Just the refinery alone. That's what Dangote owns there. Now, because already people think that just buy land appreciates in value. That's first wrong. Because nothing in itself appreciates in value. You might not be the one contributing value to it. Someone else is doing that.
Sure.
So Dangote is doing his own business. He's using the land to maximize value. Already making money from inception.
Yeah.
Right? You are banking on Dangote's value chain to bring traffic to that axis so that there's demand for your land. Yes. But there are 2 types of demand. For example, there's Eco Atlantic, there's VI.
Yes.
Opposite VI, if you want to buy land there, the value is different from the land inside the Eco Atlantic.
Definitely.
Though in the same location. What's the difference? The value added. So, whether you like it or not, if I go to Ibejuleki today, right now, right, and I decide to, maybe, let's say I have $1 billion to drop there, right, I can 10x my money in less than 1 year. And I will sell at more value than you that has bought since probably 2020.
So the whole idea, this is a very serious conversation. The whole idea around buy one plot.
Yeah.
And then you can sell back. You don't feel it's a wise investment idea?
I don't think it is. Because first thing first, you are buying one plot because you are broke.
True.
Good. Now, even let's say you sell the one plot in the next 10 years, right, for profit, if you do not still cure your brokenness, in 10 years, you sell it and still use it to eat, you'll still be broke.
It's quite strong.
So, for example, people think that just buying and selling for profits doesn't make you rich. It doesn't make you wealthy. There are broke landlords everywhere. People end up selling their land to cater for children's school fees. It means you are still broke. You should have cash flow that sorts all those things. There are many things that people even sell as investment goals or financial goals.
Yeah.
That only means that they are saying that you would never be rich.
What?
Yeah. Because if someone is saying that buy land here or buy this land, just buy this so that you can be selling one plot to send your children to school or buy one plot or give one, it means that they are saying that in the next 5 years,
They are aware nothing would have changed.
Exactly. People that do land banking. Now let's go to the history of land banking. Right. There's this particular code that people say 80% of millionaires built wealth through real estate. Question number one, who said that? When was it said? It was said in the early 1940s. Is it 1940s? Maybe early 800s, thereabout.
Years ago.
It was years ago. Andrew Carnegie. So that was, and guess what was the occupation of the day? Farming.
Interesting.
So meaning that everybody there, the only way you can actually make money is what? Owning land to farm.
Yeah.
So the person that said that thing is not talking about today's reality.
So it's more like trying to use analog mentality in the digital
Exactly.
age.
And then even if you say 80% of debt, that he said then, the approach to farming is that you buy large land to farm. But you are buying one plot. You haven't buying 150 square meter. If the land is going to appreciate in value so much, when I find it, I don't want to sell. Why are the developers selling? Is it that they don't want the huge profit that is going to come in future?
They want to make you rich.
Really?
So what you're saying in essence is that nobody is out there to make anybody rich.
It's a lie. It's a lie. If you want to make an average person rich, teach them. Number two, give them grants to do business.
Those are the two ways.
Those are the two. There's no other way. Any other thing is a lie. Just so that we can just own one plot to your name, just is a lie. Then you spread one plot for 24 months, 36 months. It means something is fundamental. Something is wrong with your finances. You should, in today's world, you should do land banking because question number one, you are buying because you know something is coming here that nobody else does.
So if I understand what you're saying now, what you're saying is when it comes to finance, don't be the defender, be the striker.
Exactly.
Don't buy from someone who wants to make money from your buying.
Yeah.
Have money to buy more than enough, then you make money from someone else's buying.
Exactly. A buy side cannot take advice from a sell side. Brokers can advise me on investment decision. No, brokers exist to execute.
For the sake of some people who probably don't understand the word brokers.
Brokers are people that sell for you and get commission.
Yeah.
Already because you have a commission at stake, I can't trust your decision because you have a product to sell. So what I can get you to do is to find me a deal that I'm looking for, not the one you tell me about.
So you who want to sell cannot advise me on what to
You
get.
cannot. Because even you are not an investor. The average broker is not an investor. So how do you know what to invest in? The average broker is broke. So how do you want to help me make wealth? You don't have money.
You said something quite fundamental. The fact that the advertisement on this land is that you're buying. Oh, this is painful. My head is aching. Someone is telling you that you buy this plot, you can spread over 24 months. It's the fact that they know you have a problem.
Exactly. And they're capitalizing on that.
If you spread it over 24 months, when will you make the profit?
In fact, you are likely buying an overpriced asset. Because at the already instance, you are paying brokers, you are paying the company's profit margin. So you are not really doing land banking, you are buying from a developer and they sell you at the development margin. Land banking is meant to be bought at the land value.
In bulk.
In bulk. So once you are not buying in bulk, you are not doing land banking.
So it's a game.
Yeah.
You play or be played.
And it only appeals to the average person. Check 90% of in fact, check the people they target it to now.
If they are telling you to spread payment for, so
they know that, and they know that the fact that you don't have much capital can be a sign of what is here. So it can be a symptom of, they know that, okay, if only what you can do every month is 100,000, you're actually mentally bankrupt. So I can easily manipulate you. You don't really know what to do with that 100K to become 1 million. So your money is more useful in my own hand. It's the world we find ourselves in.
This is not fair. So the fact that you don't even have capital for this is first and foremost a sign that you don't know so much also.
Yes.
So you link poverty to knowledge bankruptcy.
It is. It's the biggest. So when people look at people from rich home, they think in terms of money. No, that's the least of what they got.
True.
That's the least of what they got. No,
True.
they wake up hearing figures. They wake up being comfortable with affluence. They hear their parents do deals. They go to daddy's office. They go to mommy's office. Many of them do internship in their parents' company.
True.
They are already miles ahead. They understand this thing. You hear Dangote give reference to his grandfather and his uncle.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have to give him a kobo. They've given him, and then guess what? When he runs into, you would hear Otedola write in his book that governors were coming to their house. Children of the Folawiyos were coming to, you think when you go to Folawiyo's house, they are discussing Mr. Macaroni? Apologies, that's not.
Yeah, get you.
No, that's not what they are discussing. It's listening to, so they have knowledge to an extent. Even if they don't have any knowledge, they understand how to make deals.
So you feel small people discuss small things?
Of course, that's all they know about. That's what they know to discuss. It's not that they don't want to discuss better things. It's that there's nothing big in their circumference.
Are you saying that the bulk of the things done entertainment or that is targeted towards certain class of people?
We can check from the quality of people doing it. A poor person will only do poverty content. People dragged Temi Otedola for doing a day in my life, and she was flying, and people were getting angry at it. Because the lifestyle of the rich upsets the poor. They feel like it's unfair. They feel somehow.
You know, I'm thinking about the fact that sometimes you watch certain skits and the whole concept of this is either somebody mistakenly steps on a soldier, brutalizes the person, or somebody buys bread and beans, can't afford to pay. You're saying that the fact that I don't want to use myself. The fact that I find it funny means that I can relate.
So I think it's not just funny. The fact that you are at home with it.
It's a reality that one is familiar
So
with.
it's home. It's friendly. It's what you are used to. So those are people that you like to follow because they, you feel like that.
More like since one is not doing much, you have people that help you take away that time.
Exactly.
There's no value to it. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, yeah.
What's the hope of the common man?
To be honest, I think independent learning. And I think that's my own. I didn't come up from a rich home, even though I had a similar rich dad poor dad story. Right. But then I know that the only difference between myself and, let's say, people I grew up with was the fact that I found something called books and I started reading. And I was like, there's a disconnect here. When I was doing my wealth management certification course, I was seeing, so we had a little, like a real life scenario with a wealth manager. And I'm like, this wealth manager is not rich. It doesn't make sense to me. That you are a certified licensed wealth manager, yes, but you are not rich.
And he manages wealth.
And that means that, that's at a level. There are people that they are called private wealth manager. Those ones, you don't even hear about them. They're in family offices.
They are
you
not
don't
interested in you knowing them.
The real investors don't want you to know what they are buying. Up until recently, Mrs. Shola Adesaki never mentioned online that she bought Okomu in 2019. Until when it was now 1,500, then she now posted it. I bought Okomu at 65 naira.
Wow.
But you entered last year when it was already 1,200. If you want to see anybody selling...
From what you're saying, the moment an information about something becomes public,
you are late.
It's late.
You are late. Even land, once it's in the news, you are late. Dangote bought it, but like in 2013.
Hold on a minute.
Yes.
2013.
In fact, the deal started from 2008, but they finalized 2013. It's in the news.
An average person start jumping on it not too
You
long
are already
ago.
late. And guess what? Even if he wants his friend to buy then, they would have gotten. So I have a land in Ibadan. And then I realized that the person who sold for us, right, also just bought recently. Meaning that he has access to the person and he has over 2,000 acres. That means when he started seeing that there's interest here, even maybe since the railway, his relationship is circle. So they went to the bush and started buying 2,000 acres, 5,000 acres. So when developers start coming, they are the ones selling to you.
How important is the issue of your circle in wealth creation?
It's everything.
Your circle is everything.
So when I say independent learning, there are two ways. There's one you learn in books, but there's one that they are not written. You have to be informed about it. That's why at a level, your banker becomes your best friend.
At a level.
At a level. Because they are the ones who really have... So something happened recently, but I'll just say it codedly. Someone got into oil. And a few weeks later, we see what's happening in oil.
Yeah. You feel that's the power of information?
Yes. It's not coincidence. There's a terminal that large fund management use. It costs about $30,000 per year. On that terminal, you can see where every ship vessel is, where every private jet is. So now look at it. Someone also in the same market you are in is using a dashboard that costs $30,000 a year. You are using a free app and you think you are making the same decision. There are even some people called quants. Those ones, they are mathematicians. They live in the market. They develop models for the market. They can tell you. That's the likes of Jim Simmons. At the time, Jim Simmons charged the highest in the industry and he was delivering the highest in the industry because it was purely mathematics. But he was hiring Chinese nerds, people that their life is mathematics. And then you think that, because you can... Of course not.
So it is important that you have relationships and people that you can get to have first-hand information. But what is information where there's no capital?
So I believe that there are certain things you can trade to get certain information or to get into certain circles. But most people, for example, maybe you get a job now.
Yeah.
If you understand, that's what they call office politics. If you understand how to grow, who to make happy, you would grow. The same thing in business also. You know the customers to make friends with. You know the customers to go the extra mile for. You know the customers to send packages to, even though you're still a small business. But when you understand that I'm not just trying to do business, I really want to grow something. Right? There are some people you are keen on. There's a way someone pursues you that even you start taking the person seriously.
True.
But because the average person would say, his own pride is too much. Meanwhile, this person have reasons to be proud. This person have done well for themselves. So why should they just open to you? Right? So many people don't have capital. So even if, and this is why the wealthy also do not just give out information. Right? I know someone that every time I go to him, we have pictures that I cannot post. We take picture, we take video, we laugh, but I dare not post it. I dare not post it.
Why is that?
I dare not mention his name.
Why is that?
He doesn't want to be known.
True.
He doesn't. But the things
I know many extremely wealthy people.
Yeah.
And extremely powerful people who don't even want to be known. In fact, I know some of them who don't even have 300 followers.
Of course. Of course. Dangote said when he wanted to start a refinery, he was meeting some investors in Dubai. Did he mention their names? So there are people financing Dangote.
I think that the poor and the wealthy are living in two separate worlds. They may share the same planet, but two different worlds.
Parallel realities, yeah.
This is one of the most sobering conversation I've had.
Yeah. I had one of these, if I got, is it threats? Someone just sent me one very, very hate message. There's a video I did on escaping the vulnerability of lack.
Yeah.
And I just talked about it that as if you are at a certain level, you are just number, even to your country. You are just statistics. There's a lot that you are prone to. So, and what provoked that conversation? I was having a live session and someone commented that not all of us want to have billions. Some of us just want to be decent citizens and have money. Then I replied the person. I said, but when you have cancer now, you start GoFundMe for the rich to fund you. And then people came at me. I'm like, where is the hypocrisy coming from? All of us want money. So why are we trying to feel like if you have too much of it, it's a crime? But when you are in problem, you want the rich to help you.
Let's look at that psychology. It's a psych. It's something. People are working so hard, but somehow they have a way of communicating that it's not like I really want much. Do you think maybe they are sincere sometimes? Maybe because of the kind of exposure they have?
They've been taught that way. I grew up like that too. In fact, at a point, okay, the first time...
Or could it be that people don't want much because they don't know what to do with much?
No, it's. I don't believe that. I think they were taught to think like that. When I started to make small money, my own family called me a fraud.
Wow.
Yeah. Like literally, they didn't code it, they didn't know, called me. In fact, my brother looked into my eye like this and told me, confess in me, who is teaching you Yahoo? And how much was I'd not even made up to 5 million all those times. It was small money. But they just cannot, but I was about 20 all those times. They just could not understand. What are you doing with a millionaire?
So, this is sobering. An average small person is raised to see much as a sin. It starts looking sinful because you don't even know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Do you want to get a bit into how the rich raise their children and how the poor? And
okay.
I might also want to talk about possibly the impact of religion, particularly rhetorics in Africa.
Okay. So
the false hope that comes from religion. Because we must understand that religion has played a very important role in maintaining poverty.
True.
And I really do believe that many people would have been successful, but because they are hopeful.
True.
Someone told them that, I don't want to quote any statement so that I'm not quoted out of context, but all it takes is for someone to tell you that something can happen overnight. Statement that shows a God who does the thinking and does the work. Let me give you a very funny illustration. I saw a video. It was painful for me to watch. A Nigerian man was in Israel and he saw that, was it then Palestinian or something? Not Iran. I thought maybe Iran had shot a missile into Israel. The Israelis' Iron Dome shot down the missile.
Okay.
Then the debris of the missile landed.
Okay.
Then the Nigerian kept saying, there's a God in Israel. See how the covenant of God with Abraham is still standing. Look at the missile did not fall. But the Israelis kept saying that, no, the Iron Dome. So he's saying God of Israel. He's saying Iron Dome. In other words, well, whether the guy believes in God or not, we don't know. But he's saying, in a sense, if there is a God, he gave us the wisdom to build this.
Exactly.
Because I feel that, and I want to say it with all meekness, that in a system where you keep hearing that someone shot you like 50 times and you say, I'm a Christian. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you didn't die.
Yeah.
You may die soon. If someone, but this might be on a, but I just think that there's a kind of religious practices that exempt us from the place of critical reasoning.
Yeah.
And just want God to do the thinking and do the work for us. And I think that's one of the reasons why Africa might still be where she is. And the fact that we think like that. Yeah.
So, very, very true, actually, especially in the context of Africa now, because one thing I've also noticed, even across board, is that the Africans that seem to be doing something of global relevance, they seem to also have global exposure.
Definitely. You cannot do anything without global exposure.
But it looks like the American that is doing something of global relevance can do it even from just American exposure.
Very true. I don't think, I don't want to say something controversial, but sometimes I just want to say that you live in New York, trying to know something about a part of Nigeria, a part of Ghana is not much of an exposure.
Okay.
You cannot call it exposure if it doesn't transform your life in a positive way.
Yes. So
sometimes what you think is an exposure might be an eyesore.
Exactly. So a lot of things, and like you said about the family dynamics, I think is one of the major player in how people turn out. Right? Like I said, I have opportunity to have like the rich dad or rich family, poor family kind of scenario. And I used to say to you tomorrow, if I grew up with my own biological family, I would be a shoemaker in probably sawmill in Ibadan right now. Facts. I was already learning shoemaking. I was at seeing my boss. We were doing fine. I mean, my boss bought Okada. That was the height then. My dream as at then, there was this neighbor of ours.
That's Okada is a bike.
Oh, a bike, right? Yeah, a bike.
People were riding to make money.
Yeah. And in fact, the name of my street is Maku. Don't die. So that's like the exposure. My best friend in secondary school, after we wrote to Ike, he gave 2 girls, he impregnated 2 girls at the same time. And it was my best friend. So probably if I didn't leave.
That's as far as they had the exposure.
Exactly. And you can't blame them. His dad also has multiple wives. Right? And that's we're living in joy, harmony. Thief can come to your house now and they'll just enter your kitchen, cook their food and leave.
That was the quality of thieves that was
exactly.
You guys.
So they're not even, so even the thieves, that's what they are just hungry. Right? I can remember my first night in my uncle's house, I swore that I was a ritualist. I went out in the midnight. I saw the cars again. I ran back inside. I've watched Nollywood now. So I was like, this is impossible. I was seeing 4 cars in a compound. I could not believe it. So that's the gap between where I was coming from and what I was seeing. Right? And I can remember there was a time that we went to Spa in Lagos and he told 3 of my cousins that go in there, pick any phone you like. In fact, let me shock you. When I passed my WAEC, he told me, that was when Apple just came out. He told me to follow my brother to go and buy any phone I want. I bought a SHA-200. Yes. There was already Techno, M5, all those times. The Android then.
Your mentality made the choice for you.
I could not. I don't know. That one is. I was in my mind. I was trying to just give me a shit because that was the one I saw that someone in my school had then.
You know, can I be honest with you? There are certain things I believe about life that I probably don't say because I just feel, I mean, the place where people react the most are those who don't know and who don't have. They are the most reactive people.
Yeah.
I feel that in many cases, poverty has chosen spouse for people and they say it's God.
Yes, sir.
You can choose the quality of person that you spend life with.
Yes, sir.
It's a very serious matter. I think there's a lot that happens. Life is a complete ecosystem in itself. You can die, you can live, you can succeed, you can fail.
Yeah.
It's like a general hospital that many patients are not, I mean, any good hospital that is big enough is used to having a case of mortality and some will make it and some don't.
Yes,
and I think people don't know the degree to which life is an ecosystem in itself. You don't interrupt nature. And sometimes the balance in the ecosystem is that you can be killed. And I think the hype and the assumption that people have in respect to thinking that they have to fulfill destiny. You know, there's this thing we have as destiny from the word destination where you're going, that automatically because of the things you've suffered, you must, like, having suffered the things I've suffered is only, it will be against the law of natural justice for me not to become somebody in life. But as you're planning to succeed, something else is planning to take you out.
Yes, it is.
You know, recently I began to teach in my mentorship academy and I said, no sane football coach prepares the team to play alone. The arrangement of football in the first place shows you that there's an opponent.
Yeah.
The knowledge that you have in respect to your tactics, your method, what you call your strategy, is actually putting the plan of the opposition in view.
Yes, sir, in consideration.
So we have a case where people plan towards life without putting opposing plans in consideration. Exactly. You don't have a strategy.
Exactly.
So we plan towards life like there's nothing opposing, like our decisions are unopposed.
True.
Like, and I'm not talking about spiritual forces. You know, we have adages like the sky is wide enough for the birds to fly without ruffling feathers. Well, there are hunters who want to get the birds down.
Yes.
So I think that if you open the playbook and the philosophy of the poor, bulk of what you're going to find inside is hope.
Yes.
And I think it's risky. And the things you're saying, many pictures keep playing in my head. Because many of the things that people think God did, we have submission, particularly in this part of the world. If somebody die of what can be cured,
You say God
the
gives and God
general
takes.
conclusion is that God gives, God takes. But sometimes the lack of a better hospital took this one.
Yes.
One time we were in Kenya, and that picture can't leave my head. We're driving in. The tour guide said, if you look to your right, that's the animal orphanage. It's like a zoo. There you feed them, you give them anything. He said, but from this point, they eat you.
The wild.
Now you are entering the wild. Life is not an orphanage.
It's the wild.
It's wild. And I think people are not really prepared.
I think it also goes back to the family construct that we mentioned the other time. That's how people are prepared to approach life. So, in fact, when the average person hears this kind of question, maybe from a rich home, they call them wicked.
And privileged.
Exactly. Because they think, why can't we just help each other, just be this, just be that.
And maybe the reason why the wealthy doesn't discuss figures around the poor is because the poor will be offended.
Of course. Even some people, when they start making money, that's why you have to lie to your parent that you got a phone that you got 1,200,000 naira, so that it doesn't upset. There was something painful happened to me. I gifted a friend an amount of money for birthday. And as at then, I'd not given my mom that same amount. It might sound wicked, but honestly speaking, there's just nothing to give her the money for. But this, my friend, I know the deals we are going to do.
Wow.
You give people based on what you know they will do with. It's just to eat and clothes and that's it. But if you say this kind of thing outside, they're like, no, you are a bastard. No. Part of what the wealthy know is that they don't waste money. They don't spend out of pity.
Sometimes I want to bring a different perspective to what you just said. The problem is that you might even get into a problem with certain people for giving them certain figures. But there's an assumption that for him to have given this, he must have more than 100 of it.
Yeah.
And then black tax sets in at a different level. Why do you think poor people react? Do you think they also use this strategy of understanding people's reaction, predictability of it in statecraft, nation building, and knowing how to go about and maneuver and knowing how things will be?
I've forgotten the title of the book now. It was one biography. Was it author? I can't remember now. Of one of the former president of Nigeria or head of state.
My watch, Olusegun Obasanjo.
I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. I just remember a quote, a line from it.
What's the line?
And what he said there was the fact that in winning election, right, there are meetings and there are meetings. There are meetings that require money. There are meetings that require dues and conversations. And he said the least of the meetings are the ones that happen in public.
Campaign meetings.
Yes. He said, in fact, he didn't even say the least. He said the most inconsequential. I have distributed rice for a political party before. So and then, but rice wouldn't make sense to them if they were not where they are. We gauge them. I've distributed salt.
They know the crowd that deserves salt. They know the crowd that deserves rice.
Exactly. So we know the areas we call the women, we give them 200 naira. We know where we go, we distribute salt. We know where we go, we distribute rice. And things like that. And we know the person that will buy what do they call this, AMPA to go and visit. But we also don't want everybody to be AMPA because we are working on a budget. See, in fact, I think to that question, the major advantage that these political leaders have is that they know that the average person don't know the quality of life they deserve. Once you don't know the standard of life you should live, then you can endure anything. Because you can endure as far as you know that, how do I put it? If they throw you in hot water, you jump out. That means if the quality of life gets to a point where you know you are not supposed to be there, you shout. So if you can still to it, it's because you are still okay.
It is not yet at boiling point.
It is not that, yeah. I said in one of my videos that when I first got from Ibadan to Abuja, when I first came to Abuja the first time, Abuja was like mini London. I was looking everywhere.
Interesting.
The day I go back from Qatar,
Okay.
I was like, why is everywhere dirty?
True.
You go to even supposed places and you're like, why is everywhere dirty? What was this? And I'm like, hold on, what just happened? Because I've seen that there's a better standard of living. Now I'm not comfortable. But people can live in an ecosystem like you mentioned, not knowing there's any other thing outside. And they live their entire life there. So how do they demand for more?
One of the things is that whatever societal strata you find yourself, you have entertainers for that strata, you have people who speak to you from that strata, you have teachers from that strata, you have schools from that strata, and you have pastors from that strata.
Very true. Very true. It's a complete ecosystem.
Anywhere you choose to live, you have a complete ecosystem. And the structure is not designed for you to come out.
At all. Because the ecosystem has to be self-sustaining.
And it is the ignorance of the ignorant that will sustain it.
The pastor in there also wants another person to succeed him. The imam also wants someone to succeed. So he's grooming you for this ecosystem, not for another. The teacher wants you to also go to school and come and teach in this place. Your parent also wants you to marry from her children, her sister's friend. So that's to recycle. And then when you break out, you are the black sheep, you are a rebel, you are names. They call you names.
For someone who is watching this and saying, this is my life, what are the recommendations you have for people who need to break out?
Someone asked me something recently, and I think it would fit into this answer. He said, I live in the worst of the worst environment, and I don't even have any money with me. I can't even buy books to start with. How do I come out of this? And I said, look for a supposedly rich estate and go and apply for a gate man. I said, because what you first need, if you read a wealthy book in a poor environment, what you are seeing every day will overwhelm that thing. I didn't read good books in Maku. I read it in Ashi Estate.
You've mentioned Maku. I get you.
So but then...
Ashi, is that Ibadan?
That's in Ibadan.
Okay.
But when you are even if you are a gate man in a wealthy environment, if you pick up books then, because you're
seeing pictures.
Exactly, that align.
I want to talk about this. People don't understand the power of pictures because I think I can say a lot about this because I have tasted the lowest low. And sometimes when people just inform me, I'm trying to think that, how can I help this person? I'm a solutionist. So the only thing I think about when I talk with people is not to manage them in their situation, but to help. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, whoever doesn't have a name and doesn't have capital, the journey to helping them is much. You need to have a name, you either have a name or you have capital or you have a knowledge. And this issue about pictures, I can remember how, in fact, today I had a 1-hour mentorship session with one of the persons whose pictures I was looking at in those seasons. I cannot tell you the amount I paid for the mentorship, but I think it is an amount that if social media ever hears that someone in this country charges such an amount for mentorship, there will be chaos. It is the reason why if you see what's this private jet called? There's this jet. Gulfstream being advertised on Gigi. You can almost know that
something is wrong.
Something is not adding up. Because many things are advertised within their own ecosystem. I'm not saying they cannot advertise it, but I'm just saying that there are certain information that you only have within certain ecosystem.
Yeah.
And people have found out that in the places where there is lack, the most important offering people have to have is not even attention, is reaction.
Yeah.
Some people can be so broke, they can't pay attention. They react. I remember one time that someone was trending in this country for an amount he was charging for mentorship. And I even pay far
above
more than that. You know. And I sat with this mentor having this one-on-one conversation. And the observation was enough.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was registering for the mentorship session, my observation from the registration process alone gave me my money back. No, you need to understand. Just the registration process alone, I have my money back. Just from the registration process alone, I have my money back. It is impossible for me to see that. Now, that may not happen to every student.
Yes.
Because it also matters the quality of mind that is observed.
Yeah.
You cannot observe what you can't relate with.
Yes.
You can only observe something that you are alive to. You know, and that's one of the things people don't understand. And I think it is one of the reasons why the gap keeps getting wider. I think it is the reaction of the masses. And I think everywhere you see reactions daily, there's lack there.
Yes, there is. It's predictable, in fact, that there will be reaction. Because you react when you don't really have any tangible input to the subject matter.
That's true. That's true. You know, so I have this practice with my daughters. My first daughter is young. So while she was younger, she was about 2. I will carry her and put her on the table and start talking to her, expecting, I know she can't give me feedback, but I'm trying to get her used to intellectual conversation. I do everything to calm her down. So I start asking questions. Yes, tell me about your school today. And I know she can't reply. And what she does instead is to throw tantrum. I think that's where reaction comes from.
When you have
when you don't have intellectual capacity to match up with the conversation, you insult.
That's it.
Or you throw shades.
The people who have input, they will
It's
sign
true.
up because they know what to.
Majority of those who know what these represent are not sometimes even in comment section. You know, sometimes I see comment like, you put an event and someone is like, date and time.
And it's already in
the description. I think the fact that people can't afford to pay attention makes it possible that they can't pay anything else.
Yes. In fact, yes, because one of the secrets to knowing how to invest, or let me even say generally, someone said, how do you always have something to say in your content and things like that? And I said, I read. And I said, I learn. And I called the person back. I said, but let me give you the part 2. I said,
there's always a part 2.
I said, when you read, you have something to say. But there's something you read, every other person too is reading it. True. I said, I read the boring stuffs.
That's the secret. And I don't think people know that.
And I've checked it. There are books I recommend for people. They'll come back. That book was interesting. There are books I recommend that I don't hear from them again. So I know that's the book I should read. Because that's what sets me apart.
That's what people don't want to go into.
Reading annual report is not interesting. Especially when you now know that you have to read like 10 years on one company. It's not interesting.
But you're going to see things. You see decisions in between the line. You see maneuvers. Wow.
So it's the reason why, if I want to now maybe do an analysis of those painful readings I've done, and I put the price tag as 1 million naira for maybe a 25-minute session, a 30-minute session, you that thinks that the general thing you are reading is what I want to say, you react. You react now. So it's common because, in fact, people that react to price tag, check it, they don't really have any tangible value that anybody can pay that amount of money for in their life. So they are reacting because how dare you?
People who react to price tag.
Yeah. There's nothing they are offering that is worth that.
Have any tangible value in their life that they are offering that people can pay to that level. That's why they react.
Yeah.
So it's knowledge bankruptcy.
It is. It is.
You said something, and I want us to get into it. Conversations around buy this and after so and so months, make profit. You said it doesn't make the poor rich.
Yes. In fact, investing for specific ROI is not investing. Literally, that's a loan. That's a loan. So there's nothing like short-term investment. If you put your money in fixed income, it's a loan. You borrow the bank money. They do business with it, then give you back with interest. It's a loan. Right? It's just branded loan. And like many other things also that's been standardized. Investing in its real sense is that you know that this thing has value. And this thing needs financing. I am financing this idea in a way that whatever it becomes, I'm okay with it. Investing is like marriage. That's the closest definition. You don't get into it to get out. Except you know that this thing has no future any longer.
So the fact that people are trying to get into it to get out already shows that something's wrong.
Exactly.
From what we've been discussing today, it's like it's easier to make money off people who lack than
that's
to make
where the money is. That's where the easy money is. I mean, if I go on Instagram, if I want to close you for 100 million deal, I know the commercial. I know I have to come correct. Yeah. If I want to raise 100,000 from many people here, I'll just say the darnest of things. Come and do you know that if you invest, you know that this.
I mean, when people are trying to get me into conversations around deals, and the first thing is that my lawyer is going to go through it. My finance people,
they are going to go through it.
They will look into it. And then if they approve the legalities, they approve the numbers, then I have a cycle of friend. I have a very small niche. I'm going to have to set a meeting. I have people who have sat, but different organizations have consulted for different companies in this country. So they will sit back now and look at your business model. Mm-hmm. Now, this level is a level of business model. So it's going to take so much to get me to drop nada.
Exactly. So you are hard now.
Of course.
You are not easy money for me to get. But people that don't have lawyer, they just want to make money. If anybody says I lose money in something, the first fraudster is the person. If you are crying about losing money in an investment, you are the first fraudster. It means that you invested money. You
thought you were going to outsmart them, but they
because
played you.
If you got the return you were getting, you won't post online. You invested something that promised you 50%, 60%. They now run with your money. You are now shouting. You are also a fraud. Yeah.
How do you identify correct investment?
First thing first, they are not selling lifestyle. Secondly, correct investments, in all honesty, they are not sold in public. If you are in public, you are a customer.
Let me tell you something. I can't even say this in public because what you're saying is absolutely true. Some of the most fantastic investments I know, you can't even join. Like, they are not, it's not out. By the time it's out, those who are inside,
they are the ones exiting.
Are the ones who are exiting. All the fantastic investment I know.
That's how it works.
It's not public.
That's how it works.
So it's your circle that
If you're in public, you're a customer. If I want to develop 20-unit apartments now, and I need maybe 2 billion naira to take it off the ground, I meet a couple of people that will give me the 2 billion naira.
Yeah.
So when I list it out of plan and I say, come and invest in real estate, you're a customer. Because as you are paying me money, this one's already cashing out. Then we are leaving the asset with you. At a level, you have to start thinking like the bank.
How do they think?
Banks don't buy. They own. Then sell to you. So you see that banks don't make money from transaction fees and all those things. No. They make money from what they call interest income.
Means it's finished.